The following is a presentation of the Arizona Cardinals Broadcast Network. Cardinals, Broncos, the fourth and final tune-up for the season, and the last chance for some in the fight for 53, moments away.
The Mile High City, home of the two-time Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos, and for the 10th time in the last dozen years, the Cardinals and the Broncos end the preseason against one another. Arizona with a nice victory last week in Oakland. Denver at 3-0. Rich Cellini, Ron Wolfley, welcome to Denver. Wolf, big storyline tonight, the obvious one, who makes the 53-man roster out of this one. But we get to look at Chris Johnson and Sean Weatherspoon for the first time tonight, a couple of former first-round picks.
Absolutely, and what's so interesting about it is that Chris Johnson and Andre Ellington, they're the same back. They have the same skill set. Both these guys like to run behind a blocking scheme that includes the zone, whether it's the inside zone or the tackle zone. Both these guys catch the ball well out of the backfield. Both these guys excel in space. Both of these running backs are from the same running back species. And Andre Ellington and Chris Johnson are a huge bonus to the Cardinals because of that. You can have two schools of thought, Rich. Either you have a change-up back where your offense changes a little bit, or you have the same back where your offense stays the same. And that's what the Arizona Cardinals have.
For Weatherspoon, he's very good when he's on the field, but that's been the problem. Hasn't been on the field enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw Sean Weatherspoon play 2 years ago, and I can tell you right now, he was the best player on the field from time to time. The problem is he hasn't been able to stay on the field. The Cardinals expect to get a guy where he holds up well at the point of attack, a guy that can actually cover backs coming out of the backfield or run with tight ends down the seam. He's a playmaker, and playmakers are game changers.
Couple of low-risk, high-reward players. Find out how much they have in the tank when we come back tonight. It's the Broncos and the Cardinals and the preseason finale from the Mile High City. Back in Denver, getting ready for the start of this one between the Cardinals and the Broncos. Arizona won the toss and will elect to receive. Let's take a look at Wolf's keys to the game, presented by Valley Chevy Dealers.
Well, Rich, find your 18. You've got 8 spots that are up for grabs. That coming from Bruce Arians. 8 spots on that 53-man roster, and then 10 on the practice squad. So that equals 18. Doing math live on the air, always a dangerous proposition. And then you've got the starting 5 as well, right? You've got the right tackle, Earl Watford, starting here tonight. And the center position up for grabs. That is crucial to the Cardinals' success in 2015.
McManus to send it away for Denver. Williams back deep. And he'll be able to bring this one out. And Williams with a little room. And over the left side, and McManus able to get in there, and the kicker got his nose dirty on the first play of the game, but good starting field position for Arizona. And Phillip Sims, who has been efficient and effective at the quarterback spot, 3 of 4 last week, led them down to a nice drive and the victory in Oakland. He gets to start tonight.
Steady, and that's what BA says about him. This guy is just steady. Knows the offense, doesn't make a lot of mental mistakes. If he does make a mistake, he seems to recover very, very well.
Chris Johnson starts the game as the deep back. First action as an Arizona Cardinal. And as expected, he'll get the first carry, and Denver ready, reading that one as well. Let's check out tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Bud Light. Perfect beer for living life by your own playbook.
All right, here you see Big Earl Watford starting at right tackle, of course, and Chris Johnson. Oh, my goodness. Talking about a guy that is so explosive. The Cardinals want to get him anywhere from 10 to 12 touches. in this game, and we'll see how quickly those 10 to 12 touches evaporate.
Rushed for over 2,000 yards back in 2009, was dynamite at Tennessee, had an off year last year with the Jets. Now a one-year deal with the Cardinals, and Sims stumbles backpedaling, gains his footing, and throws a complete pass, but the timing of that play messed up. Christian able to make the catch on the outside.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. You look at Phillip Sims backing away from center right here, gets stepped on, stumbles coming back, but then recovers. This is what Bruce Arians loves about Phillip Sims, recovering like that and completing a pass, making it a positive play.
Third down and 8. Broncos send 4. Sims with the check down, with a swing out, complete. Johnson, and there's a nice little flash. First down, move the sticks.
That's exactly what you want to see right there. Chris Johnson in space. This is where he excels. Just running a flat route, coming out, you put the ball on him, now make somebody miss, and then move the sticks. That is Chris Johnson right there. And you can just see he's trying to get his field legs, not his sea legs, his field legs under him, Rich.
You come to a new team, you want to win over your teammates, and nursing an injured hamstring, sitting out for so much, certainly chomping and trying to get ready to go. Here he'll get a little handoff and trying to get outside, but Denver able to snuff that one out. Maybe a gain of 1.
It looks like B.A. and the Cardinals coaching staff trying to get Chris Johnson his touches here in the first quarter and get him out of the game. He's a guy that truly could be an impact player for the Arizona Cardinals in 2015. Andre Ellington, Chris Johnson, we were talking about it at the very top of the broadcast. The same running backs with the same skill set.
Second down and 9. Brown comes in motion. They'll run again. Johnson able to slip his way over the left side near midfield.
Well, you can just see, Rich, he really is trying to get his legs underneath him right now. Here's a guy that has had very little work in training camp, very little work this preseason, as we know. Getting his first real action here, but you can just see him. He seems to be stumbling just a little bit, trying to find his legs in that live action.
Third down and 6. Williams in the backfield to the left of Sims. Sims, plenty of time, surveys, now runs out of time, and he'll be stood up and stopped, flag down at the 43.
Illegal formation. Offense, number 79. Is not on the line of scrimmage. That penalty's declined. Brings up 4th down.
Oh, a tough situation right there. Earl Watford working right there on the defensive end in this situation. You can see they put the bunch over there to try to actually help out Earl Watford. And he does a nice job. Does a nice job at the point right there. I think he thought the ball was away.
Laux back, and he'll make a fair catch for Denver. And the Broncos will have the football for the first time tonight when we come back to Denver. $11:10 to go here in the first quarter. Welcome back to our Ford broadcast booth, brought to you by your Arizona Ford dealers. Not a great start offensively for Arizona. Now Denver, with the direction of Brock Osweiler. When you back up Peyton Manning, you don't see a lot of time in the regular season, but Osweiler, still a guy here in Denver, they're very high on him.
You got that right. Man, I'm high on Brock Osweiler too.
And he'll play action and wind up and let one rip, and he's got a man wide open, and he's connected with Caldwell, and Caldwell is gone. Home run, Denver. First play. Look at that one.
Well, that didn't take long. Little play action. This is Gary Kubiak's offense. the head coach of the Denver Broncos. This, in a nutshell, is his offense. You fake the tackle zone, you got a bootleg coming out on the weak side, that's called a waggle, and you run the post with Andre right down the middle of the field, and he is off and running. Andre Caldwell, an easy touchdown off of play action, which is a signature Gary Kubiak play.
And Osweiler had so much time he could wind that 6'8" frame up and heave one. Point after try is good by McManus. 78 yards in a play, and Denver has a 7-0 lead. In seconds, Osweiler to waggle, as you say.
The boot and the waggle, Rich.
Hit Caldwell in stride and 78 yards, and a score for Denver.
Brock Osweiler, he's 6'7". He is a tall unit, a big unit, dare I say, but he moves really, really well. That's what Kubiak wants in this offense, a quarterback that moves well.
Manis's kick. And he got into this one and sent it through the back of the end zone. This season, visit the new Big Red Brewhouse inside Gate 2 of University of Phoenix Stadium. Game tickets grant you entry 3 hours and 15 minutes prior to game time to our new Brewhouse themed experience featuring great food and assortment of beers for purchase and some great flat screens to get in there and watch the early games.
You're no stranger to the Brewhouse, aren't you?
Well, if you got all sorts of good things going on at University of Phoenix Stadium this year. Get in there and watch the early ones. Make a day of it.
Rich hanging out at the Brewhouse.
Sims and company from the 20, and will start in the air, and they'll take a little shot of their own, trying to connect with the speedy J.J. Nelson, but just missed him.
J.J. Nelson, this is a guy that has been so impressive in training camp, so impressive in preseason games as well. Didn't have a great game against the Raiders on Sunday night. Targeted 4 times, did not record a reception. But this is a guy that I really feel the more experience he gets, he's going to be a game changer in the regular season.
Second down and 10. And a handoff. Johnson spun to the turf after a gain of 3. Now 4 carries for 7 yards. Chris Johnson, Corey Nelson right there for the Denver tackle.
Classic tackle zone right here. You go ahead, you hand the ball off to Chris Johnson. Looked like he actually had a problem on that exchange. Probably because the mesh point is a little messed up because they haven't practiced an awful lot with Chris Johnson. It's the little things that really matter and make a difference.
Third down and 6. In the first drive, a little swing to Johnson. He picked up 10 to move the chains. Arizona goes back that way. Sims surveying and simply has to throw it away. Incomplete, and the Cardinals will punt.
Big Earl Watford right here. You can see him working with a little slide protection to the right, doing a nice job getting out there, helping out the guard right there, and then getting out to his responsibility. It was the backside where Chris Johnson was picking up the blitzer, coming off the edge. Did a nice job initially, but then you got to stay with him. And that's the thing. When you got Chris Johnson and Andre Ellington in the backfield, a lot of defensive coordinators are going to look at that, Rich, and they're going to say, okay, little guy, here comes a big guy.
Butler's punt will be fair caught by Laux at the 39-yard line.
You can see it right here. Watch Chris Johnson come across. The blitzer coming out of the secondary. Initially, nice job. Way to thud him up right there. Now you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. It takes a team, Rich, to protect a quarterback. It's not just the offensive line. It's the running backs, the wide receivers on their sight adjusts, their hot reads, quarterbacks themselves. Hey, you got to have that internal clock. Sometimes you got to know when to get rid of that ball. And not only that, you've got a blitzer that you're responsible for as well.
Second offensive play of the night coming up for Denver. Osweiler, another play action. And tries to throw a check down to Ball, incomplete, too low. Check our Bud Light starting lineups on the defensive side tonight. Who to watch for the Cardinals?
Yeah, man, Sean Witherspoon right there. This guy is a playmaker, number 55, and a game changer. The Cardinals are really relying on him. And Shaq Riddick, 6'6", 260 pounds, and runs a 4.6 40, 47.
On second down and 10. Play over the right left side, and it's Ball breaking a tackle, and a gain of near 8 for Ball.
This is Gary Kubiak's offense right here. You just go ahead, you're running that zone principle. You've got a running back leading up to the second level. They'll run that thing out of anything. Tackle zone to the left, to the right, one back, two back, no back. They run it all.
Third and 2. Jones slides in motion. Run it again, and Ball is going to get the first down and get right to midfield.
See, the Arizona Cardinals, they ask their defensive line to get in the gap, get up the field, run through your target. Not just line up in the gap and run up through the gap. Line up, shade your offensive lineman, whomever that may be, whether it's a guard or a tackle, and then penetrate. Get up the field. It's hard to do against a zone concept.
Bibbs in the game now, and he'll get the carry. Made the team a season ago as an undrafted free agent just up the road from Colorado State. You know, he and Ball in a pretty big fight for roster spot.
What's so great about this scheme, too, for the most part, when you've got this dogmatic approach, the way that Gary Kubiak does, you can draft offensive linemen that fit that scheme. You don't have to go out and look for offensive linemen like the rest of the league. You can get offensive linemen that just move their feet incredibly well.
Bibbs motions out, empty. Second and 6, Osweiler to the air. And a nice catch again by Caldwell. Second time he's been targeted, 2 catches. He took a shot on that one.
This is what they really like about Brock Osweiler. Once again, the guy has a good arm. He's accurate. He could improve in that area, I think, but he's got a nice release. And again, you're talking about a guy, Rich, that is 6'7". They list him as 6'8". He's not 6'8". Trust me on that one. That's like saying you're 6'3".
Run play on that. Monty Ball again. Gain of a couple, so Denver goes for the home run ball on their first possession, and now on this one, nice methodical drive.
This is it right here. I mean, this is Gary Kubiak. Are you kidding me? 1st and 10, classic rundown situation. Yeah, we got to go ahead and we got to run the ball. And we're going to run our tackle scheme, our zone scheme. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to pull it out of the beast, the belly of the beast, and we're going to throw it over your head.
Osweiler under pressure, hit as he throws. Ball is low and incomplete over the middle.
Right there, that's got James Betcher a little jacked up right there. Look at Kareem Martin coming around the edge. Getting a little back wax by Kareem Martin. Well, you love to see that right there. This is a guy that really could be something special. He's got to season a little bit. He's got to gain some experience, but he's got the ability.
Now they've got him on 3rd and 8. Showing pressure, and here they come. Osweiler gets it out. Catch complete. And a wrestling match right near the sticks. Fowler got the catch. Tried to power his way near the first down. Check the spot on that one. It'll be close.
Trips formation to the right of Brock Osweiler. And you can see right there, Walters jumping that a little bit late. You got to be firm on the tackle. You want to come in and make an impression in this game. Don't hit somebody and then let them carry you down the field. That is not a good impression.
Fowler did get the first down. Broncos back to the ground game, and Ball not much doing over the left side. Ball, second-round pick out of Wisconsin back in 2013.
I want you to watch this right here. Watch this guy on the nose. Go ahead, guys. Alameda to Amu. Coming through his block, getting down the line. Is that to Amu? I'm sorry, maybe it's Xavier Williams, as a matter of fact. Xavier Williams, sorry about that, Rich. Coming down the line. They love this kid because of his feet and because of his movement.
Another nice pickup from Northern Iowa. Try a little reverse, and the Cardinals stay home and snuff that one out. Burst with the carry, but Arizona at the ready, and that goes nowhere.
Boy, Marcus Golden, the second-round pick. Right now, Steve Keim doing a little tap dance, I'm sure, in the booth. Look at him stay home. Wait a minute here. Something seems amiss. That is a nice job by a rookie on a misdirection play like that. Usually, it's like a dog. You grab a tennis ball and you throw it, and the dog will just chase it. The same thing with rookies.
Loss on the play, third down and 15. Osweiler with 4 out, and dump it down. And not nearly enough. Hips, and the ball comes out, and Arizona's got it. No whistle. This is going to be Cardinal football. Bibbs looked like he was resting on top of one of his teammates, and Arizona gets a takeaway. Reed comes out with it. Cardinals football when we come back as Arizona forces the turnover. Arizona, 4:38 to go in the first. 2 days after every Cardinals win, get 50% off regular menu price online orders using promo code Cardinals50 at papajohns.com. Could have done that 11 times last year, Wolf.
11 times, really. Watch this play right here, Rich. Watch Sean Weatherspoon come on, take in the block right there, and then somehow they keep him up, and Legree just rips the ball out. What a heads-up play. But look at Spoon right here. Take on the block, get his legs sawed off, and it looks like the knee never hits the ground.
No, I haven't seen, at any time during our break, any point where his knee hit the ground. He kind of goes, burrows his way in. They're taking a look at it right now with the official review, and then rolls over on his back and gives Legree the opportunity, and Bruce Arians confident this is Arizona ball.
Yeah, BA's like, are you kidding me, man? That's going our way right there. Come on now. You know what you got to do, Clete Blakeman. That's going that way.
After review of the play, the runner was down by contact with the ball positioned at the 32-yard line. To bring up fourth down at that spot.
Uh-oh.
Well, they must have looked at a different one than we saw, because there wasn't one that we saw where we saw his knee down.
Uh-oh. BA's ready to lose his mind right here. Watch Spoon right there. Take on the block. I defy you to see where that knee was down, at least from that angle right there. Wow.
Give McManus a chance to try to kick a 50-yard field goal and get 3 more on the board. And what do you expect? In late summer in a Mile-High City, the ball does carry. And it's true right down the middle. Coach not thrilled with the review, but it's 10-0 Denver.
Through small seams, and before you know it, he's past the linebackers and into the secondary. But I think he's going to be a really good complement to Andre, not because he's different or he's differently built or plays different, but you got 2 guys that can be interchangeable and come in and out of the game, and each one of them you have a lot of worries about defensively.
Carson Palmer talking about Chris Johnson. Johnson tonight has been busy, been active, but I think your point is well made. Still trying to get his field legs and feel comfortable in the game.
Yeah, and right now Chris Johnson actually has 5 touches here tonight. The Cardinals wanted to get him anywhere between 10 and 12 touches in this game. BA, talking about, hey, you know what, if that takes a half, we'll play him a half. But Andre Ellington and Chris Johnson, very similar. That's great, because there's a lot of offensive coordinators that would like to keep the same type of running back in the game. Their offense never changes.
Back-to-back scoring drives to start this one for Denver. One touchdown pass and then the 12-play drive, field goal. Sims winds one up and looking in the direction of Nelson, incomplete, out of bounds, ran out of real estate. Coverage by Webster.
Nice protection right there initially. Stepping up, Earl Watford doing a good job. Throwing the corner route. That is a nice catch. Man, that is the one thing about J.J. Nelson. You got to do a better job right there, I think. Maybe trying to drag those feet up. But man, the guy has shown incredible football skills. The Cardinals are pleasantly surprised by that.
Second down and 10 following the incomplete pass. Johnson with the carry, and the Broncos at the ready. Steven Johnson takes down Chris Johnson.
12 personnel right there. Looked like a inside zone being run. Yeah, big Earl Watford trying to come off, get to the next level. That guard has got to come off on that run-through linebacker right there on that ace block. Center guard working together. Got to be ready for the run-through.
Loss of 1, 3rd and 11. Crowd in Denver making a little noise for the defense. Broncos move too soon. Can Arizona cash in on a free opportunity? And a lot of running by Golden, but going the wrong way.
Nice job right there by Phillip Sims. Mix up that cadence. Keep that defensive front guessing a little bit. That's the kind of thing coaches like to see.
Offside. Defense, number 48, is in the neutral zone to snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Barrett a bit jumpy. And the play from Sims on that one, Wolf, it shows that he's not overwhelmed with what's going on, that he's thinking out there, saying, if you guys are going to be that aggressive and that fast, I know I have to get the play in and relay it, and there's a lot going through my head as a rookie, but I can still play the game too.
Yes, they call it poise, Rich. Poise. When a quarterback thinks of, you know, let's go with the hard count right here. The hard, he'll say in the huddle. And everyone knows what the hard means, Rich.
3rd down, 6 following the 5-yard penalty. Sims with the receivers all to his right. In the pocket and runs out of time, and the ball comes out, and it's loose, still loose, and Denver has it. They've missed it a couple times, and then the orange shirts finally got it. Vance Walker finally fell on it. A couple of them tried to scoop and score. Walker secures it.
Well, the pressure is going to come from the backside, and it comes right over Antoine McLean from the backside again. That's always the most dangerous area. Bradley Sowell also working on that backside. You can see the penetration there, just not in sync, not doing a good job protecting Phillip Sims in that situation.
Well, Walker gets the hit, jars the ball loose, and ends up on top of it. And Osweiler and company looking at a 1st down and goal at the 7. And Osweiler puts it on the ground and now has to pick up and improvise. And he'll lose 3 back near the 10.
No, that's something you don't want to see right there. Quarterback having a hard time here securing the ball. Quarterback center exchange. You see more of that in the preseason too than you'll ever see in the regular season. Especially preseason game number 4. The witching game of witching hour games. This is where you're going to see it.
Ball is the deep back. 2nd and goal now at the 11. Ball Probing and gets a couple.
Another great example right there, Rich, of the zone scheme that Denver loves to run, and Gary Kubiak is famous for running. You got the tackle zone where you're trying to get that front seven to run horizontally, and then you let that back find the hole wherever that may be, plant and go north. And then you got the inside zone where you've got offensive linemen that are still in a zone scheme, but they're coming off north and south.
3rd and goal from the 8. Osweiler surveys. Throw a little check down. Cardinals ready. Ball makes the catch, but goes absolutely nowhere. Brooks tackles him immediately, and that's the point you had made earlier. We were visiting how good the tackling's been from Arizona.
Well, the tackling's been really good for the starters. I would say the 2nd unit and the 3rd unit, not so good. This is a great example of a nice tackle, and look at that. That is a form tackle right there.
My point is, Wolf, they're learning. They're learning from the starters.
Well, there you go right there. Let's hope there's a little bit of improvement.
Second opportunity tonight for Brandon McManus. 2nd time he knocks it through. 3 more on the board for Denver. Lucky for Arizona, they didn't give up 7. Good job by the D to just give up 3. In Denver, Rich Cellini, Ron Wolfley, Jody Jackson on hand. 13-0 Broncos. But a good job by the D not giving up the touchdown.
Absolutely. You know, even if you don't have your starters out there, you have concepts. You want to see your 2nd team, your 3rd unit, you want to see all of them go out there and play within the concept.
McManus's first kickoff is short. The next few have been through the back of the end zone. Let's find out more about Calais Campbell through our Zoom lens, presented by Hyundai, proud partner of the Arizona Cardinals. Here's Jody.
Well, it's been a busy morning for Calais Campbell. This is home for him, and he went back to Denver South High School as part of the Super Bowl High School Honors Program with Super Bowl 50 this season, really honoring players who have played in a Super Bowl, and of course Calais did that in Super Bowl 43 with the Cardinals, and connecting it back with their high school and celebrating the fact that those players came out of those particular schools. He brought a golden commemorative football and shared his personal message. He said it was great to see everyone, including his AD and basketball coach, who really pushed him as a youngster.
Very nice, Jody. Chris Johnson with the carry, and how neat is that program?
It's so cool, it really is, and to see Calais Campbell involved, not a surprise at all. This is a guy, you talk about kids, Calais Campbell will show up.
Who had more fun today, Calais or the kids?
Oh, I'm sure the kids had more fun. Calais, he loves the kids, but I'll tell you right now, you look at a guy, especially Calais.
Oh, yeah.
He walks into a room, believe me. It's like the Jolly Green Giant just walked into the room for those kids.
Second down and 5. Play action. Sims steps up in the pocket, gets caught, and dropped again. Pressure by Denver. Todd Davis with the sack.
You got to be able to throw the ball with rhythm and timing. And right now, Phillip Sims has had a problem throwing the ball with rhythm and timing. Sometimes because of the protection, sometimes I think because he might be holding the ball a little bit too long himself.
End of 1 in Denver. 13-0 lead for the Broncos. Look at that. Nice trip. Come up here, and you get a little sprinkle this afternoon before the game. Water doused on you, getting your seats here at Sports Authority Field, Mile High.
Breathing heavy as you walk up to the stadium.
3rd down and 11 from the 19. And Johnson, there you go. There are some field legs.
Oh, baby.
That look familiar?
How about it? That looked familiar right there. No doubt about it. Little draw. Watch this right here. Little delay, and here he goes. This is the kind of explosiveness you want to see. Bam! I mean, right through the gap, and he gets there quickly. Hit the Jets.
Down 36. Johnson goes nowhere this time. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today.
Boy, Bruce Arians talking about Chris Johnson and wanting to see if he's still got some of that explosiveness. He might not run a 4.28 anymore. He may not, Rich. But I'll tell you right now, in a short area, he's still got the jets. That little burst of acceleration. And I'll bet you he's still running a sub 4.4.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Johnson is going to get some work and a couple Broncos miss and get his way up past the 40, mark him at the 42.
Oh, how about that? A little inside zone out of the eye. Paul Lasike taking on the line. Look at the cutback right there. That's what they want to see. Still got the vision, got that little shiftiness, the cutback. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. He is playing very, very well right now.
We'll check on the injured Cardinal, Gerald Christian, when we come back. Bruce Arians, a little conversation on the sideline. He's been getting some work and got some pats on the back from the Cardinals sideline, and he's nodding his head as if to say, all right, that feels familiar. 3rd down and 4. Sims goes outside. Pass is caught, complete. Williams with the catch, and we'll take a look at our Toro ground stats. Toro, count on it.
You see Chris Johnson right here. Nice little cutback on the inside zone. Made another tackler miss. Doing a nice job there, making a tackler miss. This is Chris Johnson that we're seeing. 9 carries, 1 reception. That's 10. BA said 10 to 12, and I believe he's in the game right now.
Gerald Christian was the injured player to be helped off, and now being taken to the locker room on the cart. Johnson looking for a little room, and it's just such a patented move you saw through the years at Tennessee. Stop, a look, and if nothing there, burrow right in.
Absolutely. You're talking about one of the best cutback runners in the history of the National Football League. There have been a lot of running backs that were as good as Chris Johnson when they cut it back against the grain, but I don't think there's been anybody better.
Gain of 1, 2nd down 9. Sims from the gun. Quick hit to the outside. Catch, slips a tackle. And Brown with reception. And another of those explosive playmakers for the Cardinals.
I've always liked Jaron Brown so much, believe in his talent. Took a step back in training camp. Has been playing much better as of late. He's going to make this team because he is an excellent special teams player. And because he has made some big catches as well. I like that last call too. Put yourself in a 3rd and manageable situation.
They need 4 for a first. 4 wide receiver set. Shipley in motion. Denver sends 4. Sims goes over the middle. And a good, tough catch. Shipley. 1st down, Arizona.
Jackson Shipley. This guy does a great job running routes. Has great hands. You can see it right there. Secure the ball. Got to sit that down, I think, a little bit easier. That's a zone being played by the Broncos. You got to sit that down right there as opposed to actually running across the face.
10th play of the Cardinals drive. Picked up 3 first downs. Johnson with a little stiff arm, slips 2 tacklers, and motors forward for a couple more. Here's Jody.
As you saw Gerald Christian leave the field with the trainers, it is a left knee injury, and he will not return to tonight's game.
Well, that's going to present an interesting proposition for the Cardinals. They love Gerald Christian. BA loves Gerald Christian. And maybe it's a situation where the kid's going to be okay, hopefully. Maybe you can go ahead and put him on injured reserve. He's going to be out for a few weeks.
Sims on 2nd down and 2. Back toward the middle. Shipley again with a nice catch.
I'm going to go back to a couple of plays ago where Chris Johnson, once again on the inside zone, did you see him cut it back? All the way back. It's because of the vision, Rich. The guy has incredible vision. Cut it all the way back and gain 8 yards on the play. I mean, again, this guy looks pretty good right now to me. Watch it right here. Cut that thing back. Make not one, but 2 people miss. That's big time right there.
His 8th NFL season. 6 times over 1,000 yards. Incomplete. Last year was the first year when he's with the Jets that he hasn't rushed for over 1,000.
And you got to remember, now look, he's working against second-team guys, third-team guys. He's working against backups right here. But ask yourself this. It sure beats the alternative, doesn't it? You bring the guy in, he's showing the vision, he's still got the vision. Even if you're a backup, doesn't mean you can't run, you can't make a play. Of course you can. There's a lot of different reasons why you're being a backup, but it doesn't mean you can't play the game.
Sims to the air on 2nd down and 10. Nice little swing out and a jumping move by Harmon.
How about that right there?
Working on his hurdle technique.
Harmon getting a little grace on the wide receiver screen. Throw it out there. Nice job right there. Jerome Brown coming back, getting a block, and then Harmon with the hurdle. And there's alliteration there too. Harmon on the hurdle.
3rd and 5. Down at the Denver 23. Sims. Time. Looking to buy a little more. Directing traffic. Trying to float one. Incomplete, but a flag is down. Sims using a little creativity trying to get it to Brown. Flag down to 3.
Boy, it's a nice job right here on the scramble.
Pass interference. Defense, number 38. The ball we place in the spot of the foul. 1st down, Arizona.
Scramble rolls. If you're the deepest receiver, go deep. It's exactly what Jerome Brown did. Started running down the field. The ball was underthrown. He came back to it, put the DB in a position where that's all he could do was interfere on the play.
Yeah, Marsh never even attempted to do anything with the ball. Just ran right through the receiver. 1st and goal at the 2. Football goes nowhere.
Well, that's disappointing right there. The Arizona Cardinals have been much better in short yardage and goal line situations here in this preseason so far. I would say in particular out of the starters. I know we have a bunch of backups in the game right now, but these are guys fighting for jobs. And just because you're backups doesn't mean you can't get movement at the point.
Williams stays in as the back. Play action on 2nd and goal. Sims, end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Well, I don't know that was caught by who it was intended for.
It was not.
I think Moma was the target.
You got to watch this right here. This is a classic sprint pass. Tight end to the corner, fullback to the flat, and Lasike went after Ifani Moma's touchdown and took it for himself.
That's the bad news. The good news is it's 6.
That is not the way that play is drawn up. That is the classic sprint pass Every team's got it. It's one of the oldest plays in the book. Tight end to the corner, fullback to the flat. Look at Lasike. You know what, Ifani? You're going to make this team. You've done well enough. I'm going after that ball myself. That is good stuff right there, Paul Lasike.
And Moma's going, I got it. Wait a minute.
That is amazing, man. He was throwing that ball to Ifani Moma. Don't know if Ifani Moma would have caught the ball. We'll never know.
I think we're going to take another look at it to see if he secured it and see what they come back with and see if CK gets 6 or gets overturned. Review is complete, and we'll wait for the announcement.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed as called. It is a touchdown.
16 plays, 80 yards in the score.
Watch this right here. Here's Paul Lasike. He's going to go to the flat. Ifani Moma is going to go to the corner. It's called a sprint pass, and the quarterback's going to come out right here. You can see it, guys, right there. And he throws it to Ifani Moma on the corner, and Paul Lasike says, no way.
No, I see it. I'm going after it. I got it. And the Cardinals have their first score of the night. 13-7, 7:21 to go, first half. 13-7, Denver leading Arizona. Cardinals just get on the board. 7:21 to go in the first half. Cardinals scoring drive presented by Santan Ford. Santan Ford and the Cardinals team is what it takes.
How about Paul Lasike right there? Truly a fullback. If he's ever going to find a position in the National Football League, he's going to be a fullback. Very difficult to make this team as a fullback.
Manzaro's kick way through the end zone.
Yeah, Catman's like, you know what, man, I wouldn't mind coming up here and kicking off every game. This wouldn't be bad right here. Hit a 60-yard field goal.
That passing touchdown by Sims. Wells Fargo donates $500 to local public schools. Wells Fargo, together will go far.
Here it is, the old sprint pass. Fullback in the flat, tight end in the corner. Paul Lasike rips Ifani Moma off.
How many times has he been told when the ball's in the air, it's yours? Got it. I'll go get it. Osweiler on first down all day. Going to go for another home run ball. And this one is incomplete. Just a little too far out in front. Latimer.
Yeah, nice shot right there. This is what Gary Kubiak likes. Cody Latimer running the old takeoff to the left, lined up to the left. Great protection. Brock just put it out there a little too deep for Latimer.
Second down and 10. Osweiler back to the air on second and 10. Nice completion to Jones, the tight end.
Boy, look at Jones right here. For a big man, he runs very, very well. Look how thick he is, Rich.
They have a few of those big tight ends.
That is a thick dude right there. Good job by Marcus Golden running with a tight end as well.
Witherspoon getting a little breather. 3rd and 3. Osweiler gets it out. It'll be a first down for the Broncos. And stepping out of bounds is Burst, the man who made the team as a free agent last year out of Fresno State. Couldn't quite walk the tightrope on the sideline.
The Cardinals put 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. They rush 6. They go after Brock Osweiler, play man free. Man across the board, close the middle of the field. Nice job, good read, good throw. A little rhythm and timing from Brock Osweiler.
First down, Denver. And they get back to the ground game. Ball able to get a couple of positive yards. Osweiler 7 of 10, 109 yards, and has the touchdown.
Great job by Sean Weatherspoon right there. The Denver Broncos come out. They get in the I formation, run the weak side ISO. And what a brutal play that is. Fullback on Mike Backer, and may the best man win.
Play action on 2nd and 6. Osweiler has to go sidearm and ran out of time quickly. Walters forced the action.
That last play right there, Sean Weatherspoon with the yo-yo. That's where you jump up into the gap, right? And here I come, and you got to work on your timing a little bit. But that's the kind of X-factor guy that he is. Look at him mug the A-gap right there. Jump up. Now here comes Shaq Riddick on the backside. What a nice job by the rookie, staying home.
To the air on 3rd down and 6. Osweiler hit as he throws, incomplete. Good defensive series by Arizona. Golden got in there and knocked him around.
Yeah, he did. A 4-man rush. This is a thing of beauty right here. A 4-man rush, getting some pressure on the edge, and Xavier Williams just pushing his butt gut right into the quarterback. Nice edge rush on the outside. Great internal pressure.
Nelson with his toes back at the 10. A little room to return. Flag flies in, and Nelson will get it up to the 24. Flag at the 19.
Get ready for a lot of those, Rich. Especially in that 4th quarter, man. Might be some serious laundry down on the field. J.J. Nelson, did you see how
During the
smooth he
return,
is?
holding, return team number 35. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. First down, Arizona.
Brooks with the hold. We have a timeout. 4:58 to go in the first half. 13-7 Broncos. Under the lights in Denver, Broncos leading 13-7. Rich Cellini, Ron Wolfley, Jody Jackson. Welcome back to our Ford broadcast booth, brought to you by your Arizona Ford dealers. Williams in as the back. And Sims going to come out throwing, and it's incomplete. Let's check in with Jody.
Yeah, guys, an injury update with Michael Floyd, who's not here on the trip, but got injured early in camp. All of his weight went down on his left hand, dislocated 3 fingers in what a lot of his teammates were calling kind of a gruesome injury. Needed surgery to get the fingers right. Now, he's actually catching the ball. He's actually not doing any live work, guys, but able to play catch a little bit, and that's got to heal up. He hasn't ruled out being ready for the game against the Saints week 1 next Sunday, but no one has actually said that they expect him to be in the lineup. Right now it's up in the air. We'll have to wait and see.
Now what's his line? I'm a fast healer. All right, fair enough. Cardinal fans hope so. 2nd down and 10, trying the middle. Not a whole lot there for Williams.
Boy, that was a brutal injury, too, of Michael Floyd. To go ahead and dislocate 3 fingers on the left hand, and you should have seen it when he held it up. It was pretty unbelievable. He's wearing that like a badge. He's down there, and I dislocated these 3 fingers. Still might play against New Orleans.
3rd and 6. Sims flagged down, and so is the football.
Phillip Sims once again doing a great job with the cadence. Mixing it up a little bit. I think he got Barrett again.
Well, if Barrett could get back.
Offside. Defense, number 48. Player was in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Well, I get that too. I feel for Barrett right there in that situation. You're out here. You're trying to make a football team. Just want to make a play. Your tongue is bouncing off your knees. A young guy, watch this, coach. I'm going to go sack the court. And before you know it, you're off sides by a yard.
And you'll give him another chance with a 3rd down and 1.
Yes.
Wade Phillips wants a timeout. Broncos defensive coordinator gets it. And Wade's coach so long was at one time the head coach here in Denver.
Man.
And a head coach and a coordinator just at a lot of the 32 stops in the NFL.
You want to talk about a great defensive mind and a great defensive coordinator and a guy that has done it for a long, long time. Wade Phillips. You know, I do believe there are certain head coaches in the league that were meant to be head coaches. And I feel that way about coordinators as well. Wade Phillips had success as a head coach, but I think he's a much better coordinator than he is a head coach.
Third down and 1 following the penalty and now the timeout. Sims facing a little pressure, throws complete, 1st down, Arizona. He connects with Nelson.
Oh, baby, this is exactly what BA wants to see. Watch this. A contested pass on the slant. Great read by Phillip Sims, seeing the one-on-one on the backside and getting the ball. Look at it. A little behind J.J. Nelson, and he still hung on to the ball. How he does that, I have no idea. His wrists are like 1.5 inches in diameter.
Nobody on the same page here. Still a limited amount of tickets for the
5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Still a limited amount of tickets for the 2015 home opener on September 13th against the Saints. Join us for the start of season number 10 at University of Phoenix Stadium. Number 10 already?
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me? Crazy.
And that
Call the Cardinals box office. You see the numbers there. You can go to Ticketmaster.com and 7-1 at home last year.
Absolutely. That stadium has become a real home field advantage for Big Red.
Don't forget about the brew house.
It's the place you like to visit, Rich.
1st and 15 following the penalty. Sims. Good pocket now and throws a strike. And now they're finding a little bit of rhythm. Brown with a nice catch.
Well, he's starting to find a little bit of rhythm because he's getting rid of the ball, and not only that, he's got a nice pocket. Boy, that was beautiful. A 4-man rush by the Denver Broncos playing a zone. Jerome Brown does a nice job making the first one miss, and many times when you do a nice job of making the first one miss, you pay for it, and he just paid for it right there.
Pitch on 2nd and 1. 1st down, Arizona. Williams with the carry and a spin.
Kerwin Williams is a very, very capable back. Don't know if he's going to make this football team. But I can tell you this, if he does get let go, I think he's going to be picked up by somebody else. He is an NFL running back, and he has proven that. Sometimes it just doesn't work out for you with a team. You got to find your niche.
This is the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes to go in the 1st half. Broncos penalty gave the Cardinals 3rd down and short. Since then, they have been moving it. 2 minutes to go in the 1st half. Your Arizona Ford dealers are proud to announce the all-new punt pass kick sweepstakes for 2015 Cardinals regular season, where you could win a brand new 2015 Ford F-150. Visit yourlocalforddealers.com and stay tuned for information and registration details. Sims on 1st and 10. Reloads, connects, and completes. Stephon Taylor in the game, and there's a guy who can do a little bit of everything and is very good on special teams.
Absolutely. He is steady. He's very good at blitz pickup, catches the ball well, and runs the ball well in between the tackles.
So he's on second down. Let's get outside, and he's got some wheels. Get a couple.
And Phillip Sims has shown the ability to pull the ball down and run a little bit this preseason. We've seen him do it. Make some plays with his legs. I wouldn't say he's a speed demon by any stretch of the imagination. See Harold Goodwin right there calling the plays. Goody! Not only putting the entire game plan together, but also calling plays exclusively here tonight.
Arizona 5 for 8 on third downs. 3rd and 5. Sims in the face of pressure throws complete. First down. Jackson Shipley.
That is the poise right there that Bruce Arians is talking about. Just steady. Look at him. Here comes the blitzer. He's responsible for that free hitter right there, and he gets the ball off. Throws it hot on time to Jackson Shipley. That's a built-in hot right there. And the poise that Phillip Sims showed, that's something that B.A. and Harold Goodwin want to see out of their young quarterback.
Coach Arians gets the end of the week off. Doesn't have to game plan, doesn't have to call plays, can just look at everything from 30,000 feet. And Harold Goodwin's in here taking a final. I got to think about it, I got to prepare it, I got to call it. Great opportunity for him.
Oh yeah, this is a resume builder right here. This is how you bring these young coaches along.
Denver territory, 1:19 to go in the first half, and a penalty on the false start.
65, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Boy, J.J. Nelson has been so impressive this preseason, in training camp, in games. Look at him though, Rich. I mean, if he shows up on the beach, he's going to get sand kicked in his face on the beach with that build. But I guarantee you put him on a football field, you got yourself a full-grown flyer.
1st and 15. Ball makes the catch, splits defenders, and gets 4 more. A lot of guys who are nifty with the ball in their hands in this Cardinal uniform.
Yeah, John. Teron Brown. Teron Brown has been a big-time surprise in the last 2 weeks.
Sims runs out of time and throws it away.
Well, even a play like that sometimes, you look at it on film and you say to yourself, you know what, that was a good decision right there, Phillip. For you to just go ahead and throw that thing away.
Now you're looking at 3rd down and short.
I think earlier in the game, Rich, I think maybe he was holding onto the ball a little bit too long. Sometimes you got to have that internal clock. You got to know when to hold them. Kenny Rogers is right, and you got to know when to throw.
3rd and 1. 4 receivers set, and they'll get 1 and some more. Grinding through some yardage. An angry run from Taylor.
That's what he does right there. That is who he is. Stephon Taylor. Quick little trap right up the middle. Runs the ball so well in between the tackles. Watch his high knees right here. Look at him high knee that thing. Get those pistons up. Keep that pad level down. That's how Roger Craig, did you remember Roger Craig from the San Francisco 49ers? That's how he used to run the ball. Get those knees up, those pistons pounding, and keep that pad level still down. That's Stephon Taylor, and that's why he's so good in between the tackles.
Had a great college career at Stanford doing that. 12th play coming up. On first down, back to the air, miscommunication. Nobody there.
Yeah, that's the situation right there. JJ's going to come back and say, you know, what were you thinking, Philip? And Philip's going to look at him and say, JJ, what are you doing? I guarantee you they will get it figured out in about 30 seconds when they go into that tunnel. Actually, about 42 seconds.
Officials having a conversation.
It's never a good thing.
Preseason wants an explanation. Nope. Flag was down, and they'll pick it up. And more freedom from the sideline. You don't have to worry about the next play call.
No.
There is no foul for intentional grounding on the play. There was a receiver in the proximate area at the numbers. It's an incomplete pass. Brings up second down.
That's what BA was arguing right there. Don't think for a moment he was just arguing the fact that they threw a flag. He has a point to his arguments.
He's a man who gets to the point.
You might not get it. You're going to get it verbally. You may not understand it conceptually.
Go empty on 2nd and 10. Sims with time back over the middle. Shipley is down near the 15, and so is a flag back at the 22.
Oh boy.
We were so clean earlier, and then you said,
yes, I know.
We're going to see a lot of these.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Blame it on me, and you know what? I'll wear that one. I will. Must not be too bad here. BA's shaking his head in agreement. Maybe it was just because they consulted him.
Offside. Defense, number 70. Lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty's declined. Brings up third down.
Or maybe it's against the Denver Broncos. And that's why he was like, okay with that.
Josh Watson called for it. Penalty declined. Third down and 2 at the 16. Sims batted down at the line. Well, Watson was just lined up incorrectly, lined up correctly, and now knocks down the pass.
Well, once again, I think Philip Sims having a hard time reading. It's an empty set right here. You got a 4-man rush. At some point in time, you got to get the ball out. I think he held on to it a little bit too long right there before he tried. Ball gets batted down. It's a good job by the defensive line of the Broncos, reading his eyes, looking at the cue, getting their hands ready.
You know, last year we were looking at position of field goal kicker, wondering, could you really go in with the rookie? And how good would you call him, the cat man? How good was he last year, and continues again this season?
I think you were the one who brought that up.
I did.
I think you were saying, can you really go into the regular season?
I did.
You said it with conviction.
And as the season wore on, you know, I keep track. I follow you. And I kept thinking, you know, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. You know, I think he's pretty good, and he's clutch.
For the record, I agreed with you last preseason. Couldn't believe BA did that. And that's why he's Bruce Arians. I've never seen a guy like him before. I've never seen a head coach in the NFL that is hyper-progressive on one hand and a staunch traditionalist on the other. Never seen that kind of combination.
That's a
from
good description.
Head coach. I've seen a lot, Rich, that have been hyper-progressives. I've seen a lot that have been staunch traditionalists. Rarely do you see a guy. I asked him the other day when I saw him, I said, BA, do you talk to yourself? You walk around talking to yourself? That is a combination you just don't see out of a head coach.
Well, it's working. Lauk's back deep, and he'll get a chance to return this one. We'll field this one on a bounce and run straight ahead across the 20. And in flies a flag. And it hits a Bronco player. That get Bibbs?
That zebra chucked that thing.
Yeah, jogging to the sideline saying, "Who? Somebody take a swat at me? What's going on here?"
It's about 30 yards, Cleat.
During the return, holding Return team number 53. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Steven Johnson. Well, you look at the season Arizona had a year ago. You make the playoffs, go 11-5, tie the franchise record for wins in a season, and some nice accolades for Steve Keim, Bruce Arians.
Interesting to see Sean Weatherspoon still out on the field right now.
Coach said today, got to figure out if he can still play football. Know what he's done. Don't have any film from him last year out with the Achilles, and that could answer something. Nice tackle.
That was nice. Playing downhill right there. Watch this little draw, and here comes the spoon. Picked him up and buried him.
Somebody block him. There you go. Spoon having some fun with it.
Grave digger, Rich.
Well, Broncos got it started early with some big plays, but Arizona climbing back in it. Johnson has shown some flashes. We're at halftime here in Denver. By your Arizona Ford dealers. And moments ago, Jody Jackson caught up with Bruce Arians.
Coach, we got to see Chris Johnson and Sean Weatherspoon for the first time out there. What was your evaluation of each of them?
I thought Chris looked very good, and he's done for the night. Spoon wants to play a little bit more, so we're going to let him go another series or two, and real pleased with the way the offense overcame. We lost our only tight end at dress tonight, so kind of drawing plays up in the dirt a little bit.
Have any more on Christian and his status?
He hurt his knee. We don't know how severe it is, but it does not look good. So we drew up a few plays in the dirt and sideline in the locker room and see what we can do.
All right, Phillip Sims might have held the ball a little bit long at times. What were your thoughts on the way that he played?
I thought he was pretty solid, other than he should have just got it out of his hand a few times. He started looking for the scramble, especially that last drive. He had a guy in the open in the end zone, and he threw it to the backside. He misread his route.
And finally, what will you be watching closely in this final half of the preseason?
Well, I want to see how Logan plays and a couple more young guys on defense. That our corners are playing pretty solid other than the first play of the game.
That's okay. All right, thanks a lot, Bruce.
You bet.
All right, Bruce Arians, there you have it from the head coach. And he said Sean Weatherspoon will come out and play some in the third quarter. He's revved up, ready to go, wants to play a little bit more.
You got to love that. A guy who has played, has established himself in the league, and out last year with an Achilles injury. Like, I've been banged up all year. I need to do a little bit more than a half.
Yeah, he needs the work. There's no doubt about it. Really interested to see Logan Thomas as well in this half.
Trevor Siemian will play the second half for Denver. 7th round pick out of Northwestern.
Right now, guys have got to make plays.
Yep.
Remember, 8 spots on the 53-man roster for the most part. Wide open here tonight. 10 on the practice squad. 18 guys.
And Denver going to start second half on the ground. And Siemian with the safe one to Ball. And Ball hasn't gotten a lot of carries in the preseason, but he's getting the workload tonight.
Yeah. Sean Weatherspoon down on the field as well, jacked up. Boy, it's got to feel good to him getting out, not being on a football field in live action since 2013, 2 years ago.
Play action on second down. Siemian escapes a little trouble and is caught and dropped.
How about that? Another guy that's actually battling for a position, Big Gabe Martin. Good job right here on the play action, getting some pressure, Kareem Martin. The pressure came from inside. Gabe Martin. You got to show that motor, man. That's exactly what coaches want to see.
On 3rd down and 24. I think everybody in the stadium knew that one was coming. And Arizona with a very solid start defensively to the second half as Ball Doesn't get much.
See Ed Stinson right there. Nice job by Eddie using his hands, getting off a block. See James Betcher saying, yeah, that's the way you do it, man. That's why we do all those drills. You use those hands. Get off the block. Make a tackle. Ed Stinson is one of those steady guys. I think he's going to have 10, 12-year career in the National Football League.
Shipley back. This punt turns over, and Shipley has a little room. Slides down just short of midfield. Take a timeout. 12:55 to go, third quarter in Denver. Cardinals fans enjoying some snacks here in the Mile High City. Cox delivers over 800 games, pro and college, with the biggest games and the biggest conferences. Visit cox.com/football for more information. Logan Thomas gets the reins at quarterback. See his numbers from last week, 3 of 5, 65 yards. First drive of the second half for Arizona. Williams, good hole on first down. It's down near the 42.
You know, we're talking about the fact that the Cardinals don't have a tight end, so they're using Cameron Bradfield as their tight end. An offensive lineman, putting him out there at tight end, doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't matter. You just run away from the tight end. That's what the Cardinals did on that possession, or on that play, I should say. Just ran away from Big Cameron. Look at him, lining up at tight end.
Gain of 9, second down and 1. We'll draw. Williams again, another nice hole over the left side, and he'll get down to the 35.
Watch this play right here. You can see it. Watch this. This is a draw play, classic slide. Watch Paul Lasike right here. Come up here. This is the life of a fullback, folks. This is what you got to do. Okay, let's see. I'm going to take on the Mike Backer right there. Did a nice job. Got buckled a little bit at the point. It's the life of a fullback. Stick your face in the fire, baby.
Thomas to the air on first down. And we'll just lunge forward for a couple. And you wonder why the fullback, when he sees the ball in the air in the end zone, has to break off and go get it. I don't get these opportunities.
I'll tell you, playing rugby, he didn't see that an awful lot. Paul Lasike. Boy, if ever there was a guy that was built to play fullback too, it's 34. Paul Lasike got that bucket, and he will put it on you.
Round motions. Thomas. Williams. He'll get a couple.
There's big Paul Lasike. Watch him right here. Run up here and take on the Mike Backer. Got to keep his head up. That's the one thing he does. He dips his head, drops his eyes. See what you hit. You hear coaches talk about that all the time. You can't drop the head. You got to keep your face up.
3rd and 5. Here comes pressure. Thomas gets it out. Pass is complete right near the first down marker. More time it's Shipley, who has been a safety blanket, first for Sims and now for Thomas.
Nice throw by Logan Thomas. Here's the read. Let's see, I'm going to go over here. I got man cover. Throw the ball to Jackson Shipley. Jackson Shipley, I don't know how he makes this team, but I promise you the Cardinals want him to.
Will swing out on first down, and they'll move the chains again and get into a goal-to-go situation. Harmon, the nice catch and run.
Yeah, Trevor Harmon. Right there is BA's nephew. Kind of a weird situation, right? Trevor Harmon out there on the field saying, "Did you see that, Uncle?" Hey, Unc, what do you say you give me a little bit more grease? BA's over there. That's right, all right. That's the way to do it, nephew. Stick your face in there. Make a play.
First and goal from the 9. And Williams will get in. Touchdown, Arizona. Outstanding drive to start the second half.
Oh, that is a thing of beauty. And it's playing to Logan Thomas's strength. Watch this. Here's Kerwin Williams. The zone read. That's all it is. Quarterback's going to ride him and then run out here. Go ahead, guys. He's looking at the end man on the line of scrimmage. When he saw the end man come up the field, he just gave him the ball. That's playing to Logan Thomas's strength as an athletic quarterback who can pull the ball down and use his legs.
Zero missed it. So it stays at 16-13 following the missed PAT. Williams working, churning through the D. And the Cardinals on top. Back in Denver, Williams with a nice run, and Arizona on top now 16-13. PAT no good.
Roger Goodell all jacked up over that. See, we went ahead, we changed it, we moved it back, made it more of a competitive play, and look what happened. Even though it's still over 95%, the kickers make that field goal.
And Lautz will have no shot to return that one as it's deep through the back of the end zone. Thomas studying at the foot of the master, Tom Moore. Denver enjoying a nice night in this final preseason game. They'll open here at home against Baltimore. Tonight's First and 10 on-screen technologies brought to you by the Arizona Lottery. What's your game? Visit ArizonaLottery.com. Simeon still at quarterback with big news. Weatherspoon still playing linebacker and getting after it.
Well, how about that? You'd love to see that. 8:45 here in the third quarter. Big Sean Weatherspoon, Spoon Man, still out there because he wants to be out there. And I'd want to be out there too. I haven't played football in 2 years. I want to be out there.
Second down and 10, and Arizona has their ears pinned back. Nowhere to run for Ball. Riddick knifing in.
Really like Shaq Riddick. A guy that has flashed here, and the coaches love him. But watch Sean Weatherspoon right here. Telling the other guys, hey, listen, we're not lined up correctly. This is exactly what the Cardinals want. Now watch him duck this block. I mean, it's pretty good right there from a guy that hasn't seen those live bullets, so to speak, in 2 years.
3rd and 12, and Simeon is buried. He just collapsed on him on that one. Marcus Golden, the first white helmet in.
Wow, Marcus Golden coming off the edge, Motorman. Simeon trying to step up, could have helped his tackle. I don't know about the dance though. At some point in time, you might have to, I don't know what that is. The arms are waving around, and we'll throw them both up at the end. I don't know. He's got to work on that sack dance, I think. Get a veteran all over that.
Second straight 3 and out for Denver here in the second half. Penalty marker down, as is Jackson Shipley. 2 of them.
Of course, you meant penalty markers down, Rich.
Did I call them flags?
No, you said penalty marker down. There's more than one. It's amazing.
They saw the same thing.
You know what? I think that happens. I think you were right on that.
Yeah.
I think there's one guy that says, I saw this happen. There's another zebra out there that says, you know what, I thought I saw that happen. You threw it, I'm going to throw it.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 35. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Brooks with the block in the back. And we'll take a timeout. 7:18 to go, third quarter. He's working on the dance. I think he's improving it. A couple of future Hall of Famer jerseys right there. Peyton Manning and Larry Fitzgerald. 16-13 here in the third. Arizona getting ready to go back to work. Logan Thomas and the offense looked really good. Taylor with the carry on first down, maybe one. Here's Jody.
Here on the sidelines, of course, the starters, just watching a lot of the young guys. So Tyrann Mathieu joining me right now, and I know you're excited. You're ready to go September 13th against the Saints. Have you guys done some game planning already?
Yeah, we've been watching those guys. Obviously, we didn't prepare for the Denver Broncos this week, so we got a jump start on the Saints this week.
It's close, just 9 days away. For you, you've had an amazing camp and an amazing preseason. Just last year, you came back after the injury and you played, but this year you look different. Tell me the difference.
Well, I'm just excited to be healthy again. I feel like my confidence is back, and obviously my swagger is back, and I think a lot of the team might.
Loves your swagger. You and Coach Arians seem to have a bond. Can you describe that a little bit?
Well, it's personal. I think it stretches far outside of these white lines right here. He's always there for me. I remember our first conversation. He told me that I could trust him, and that I can always call him, and he stayed true to that.
You sense the pride when you make a big play and just what he feels?
Oh, absolutely. Every time I take the field, I definitely want to do it for Coach Arians and my teammates and, everybody that believed in me.
Honey Badger is back, so give us an idea of how you're going to be used out there. Can you? I know you want to share everything right now, but what will we see from you when Sunday the 13th is here?
Well, you'll see me all over the place. I'll be blitzing, I'll be trying to tackle, I'll be covering, and hopefully I'll be making a lot of plays for our defense.
What are some of your thoughts as you watch these guys, including Sean Weatherspoon, out there?
Well, I'm excited to see Spoon back out there. Obviously, he missed a lot of the camp, and we're excited. Obviously, he's going to play a big role in our defense this year. I was excited to see Chris Johnson perform tonight, and I'm definitely excited to see our young secondary.
It's coming together. Tyrann, thank you for the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Jody.
Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Nice work. On third down, Taylor will be tripped up and well short of the first. 3, maybe got 1, and the punt team comes on.
Just listening to the Badger right there talking about the possibilities and how he's going to be used, the X factor, if you will, for James Betcher against the Saints. My goodness, let me tell you, that's exactly what I think they're going to do with the Badger. He's a guy you can line up anywhere on the field, and you can blitz him or have him covered.
Louts will make the fair catch, and maybe a little extra incentive for the Honey Badger to play the Saints. He's a Louisiana boy. Get the old hometown team coming to your new house, Arizona. Can't wait. 4:59 to go here in the third. Field at Mile High, home of the Broncos. One on top of the stadium, one down at field level. Broncos tired, was running up and down the field pregame. May need a bite of hay and a rest. Well, I'll tell you what, Denver hasn't got anything done. 2 drives in this half. First one -9, second one -11, and you just get the sense they're looking at Simeon saying, you know what, why don't you complete a pass, and then we'll think about not stuffing your run play.
Boy, I love to see that up front too. Nice job by the backside with gap control.
Stay on the ground, and ball just doesn't have anywhere to go. Another flag down from the referee, and you know what that generally means, a hold.
Cleats walking around right here trying to figure out what the call's going to be, where he should stand.
Holding, offense number 73. Penalties decline, brings up third down.
Nice job right here. You can see it. Holding Alameda Ta'amu. It's a nice play by a big man.
Holding and tackling. And generally not playing nice in the schoolyard.
Have you ever stood next to Tom? That's the question you've got to ask yourself right now, Rich. Feel inferior.
3rd and 9. He'll take a shot down the sideline. Almost a one-handed snare. Now a flag comes in. Fowler almost made a beautiful catch. And the flag comes late.
I don't know about that one, Rich. Seeing that live, that looked like normal hand checking going on down the sideline. You got to let him go ahead and do that. I don't know about the DPI in that situation. BA wasn't very happy with it.
Pass interference. Defense, number 36. Ball he placed and spotted a foul. First down.
Getting a little bit of pressure right there. Big Gabe Martin coming through, getting a hat on some sternum. Boy, I don't know about that. I do not like that. I realize you got some hand. That is a clean play.
Simeon going to go back to the air, dumps one down to Ball, who turns forward and gets to the 36.
I'd like to see Alani Fua getting in on that tackle right there. There's a guy the Arizona Cardinals are very interested in. Very intriguing guy. He's tall. I mean, he's like 6'5", athletic, runs on his toes. They wondered if he'd be able to hold up at the point of attack, and so far, he's bludgeoned.
Ball on 2nd down and 2. Near the sticks.
They go right at him, too.
First down.
That's exactly what the Cardinals want to see Alani Fua do. Play downhill. Be able to get off blocks. That time, he didn't do a good enough job using his hands.
First down, sticking with the ground game. Some fresh legs in there. Bibbs has shown a nice little burst tonight and the ability to break some tackles too.
And a nice job right here. Classic weak side tackle zone. Xavier Williams missed at the point. You got to find the ball. Did a great job using his hands, controlling the guard. Got to get off, find the ball, make the play.
Bibbs, 3 broken tackles. The gain of 8. And again, and room up the middle, and Bibbs inside the 20.
Yeah, this is classic Gary Kubiak football right here. Just running the tackle zone, cut it back. That is the powerful thing about the tackle zone. That thing, sometimes you'll have running backs actually bounce it outside. You want to get the front 7 running laterally and then let them pick a spot. Build a wall backside.
And play action, end zone, routes incomplete. And he'd like that one back.
Oh boy. There's an opportunity to make a play. Bootleg after the play action, right on the hands. My goodness.
Second and 10. And a pitch from the 17. Bibbs for 2 down to the 15.
Josh Morrow. You gotta love Josh Morrow. 290 pounds. You can stand him up as an outside linebacker, play him down in a 3-point as a defensive end. Really a versatile guy. You see him run down. I mean, 282 pounds. He's really 290 pounds. It's a little light right there. Josh Morrow running down from the backside to make that play.
Third and 9. End zone, back shoulder caught, touchdown! Benny Fowler.
No, you called it, Rich. That's what it was. I'll just go ahead and we'll run that fade. You can see right here, this is a beautiful throw by Simeon to the back shoulder on the fade. That is a nice job. It wasn't bad coverage by C.J. Roberts at all. That's just a great throw, and a great throw beats good coverage every time.
Just a better throw and catch. And Simeon able to bounce back after Louts dropped one to connect. And Denver's back in front with 57 seconds to go in the third quarter.
I'll tell you, as the fourth preseason game goes in the National Football League, pretty entertaining game.
We've hit the jackpot.
No doubt about it. Chris Johnson in the first half, showing some burst. Sean Weatherspoon playing as well. Marcus Golden talking to the defensive coordinator. Got a little grease earlier in the game. Had some young guys perform, had some veterans perform as well. Back and forth. Not a bad preseason game for number 4.
Start of the second half, you said you have to make plays, and you have to make impressions, and your time to do it is now.
No doubt about it, man. Time is running out. Again, 8 spots up for grabs on this roster. BA told us that. 8 spots open, and then 10 on the practice squad. That's 18 positions, 18 jobs. Every play matters, whether it's from the line of scrimmage offensively or defensively, or in transition on special teams. Every rep you get matters.
9 plays, 81 yards, aided by the pass interference call that which Arians was still a little hot under the collar about.
Something tells me BA tosses in his sleep about some of these calls. I mean, honestly. My father was like that. My father, a truck driver, and I guarantee if there was something bothering him, you did not want to be around him when he dozed off. Arms flailing, vases being knocked over. Sometimes maybe even a bloody nose accidentally.
Thomas, quick snap, swings it out. And that play has worked and worked well. Harmon with the good hands and able to just find his way through the blockers.
That is so sweet right there. And Trevor Harmon making a play. Good hands, smart guy,
Go back
knows
to your
where
uncle.
to be.
Uncle's going to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are you not calling the plays? I'm moving. I'm moving to somebody else.
He might actually want to move down closer to Uncle right now. Just, did you see that, Unc?
Thomas 3 for 3. Taylor picking his way. Flag comes in.
Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Humphreys. And you mentioned the starting 5 at the top of the show. How do you find your 5 linemen?
Yeah, you can see DJ Humphreys right there. Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a horrible call. Is that not horrible? I mean, if an offensive lineman can't do that, you got to be kidding me. That happens literally on every play.
Thomas and the Cardinals just get the snap off. And a one-handed catch by Shipley. He's got his other hand pinned to him by the defender. And that'll get to the end of the third quarter. Say what you want about Shipley. He can make some plays, and so can Arizona. Williams and company, the D getting in the act. Back and forth we go. Denver with the lead heading into the fourth. Start of the fourth quarter here in Denver. Rich Cellini, Ron Wolfley, Jody Jackson. Denver with a 4-point lead. This season, Sanderson Ford will be recognizing our servicemen and women through their Seats for Soldiers program. For more information on the program, visit sandersonford.com. Great work. Trying to get rid of it, pulled it back, and it'll be an incomplete pass. Lucky he didn't get blown up on that one.
Yeah, Logan Thomas did a nice job right there, realizing, oh my goodness, we've got an unblocked blitzer coming off the edge. Barrett just decided to get rid of that ball. Probably a good decision right there.
Looking like a basketball player near the rim with no place to go with it. What are you going to do with it?
You got to remember the Cardinals operating here without a tight end after Gerald Christian went down.
Only one they dressed tonight. Thomas complete. Shipley. But he'll be short of the first.
Still a nice job. Just going through your progression, making a read, and throwing the ball to Jackson Shipley. My goodness. The Arizona Cardinals are so deep at the wide receiver position. I don't know how the young guy makes the team. I really don't. But man, has he earned it. He has earned a shot. Maybe the practice squad.
Drew Butler on to punt. He won the punting job. Louts back for the fair catch at the 24. 14-13 to go in preseason game number 4. They're getting ready for the Saints coming to town too. Back in Denver, 14-13 to go in the 4th quarter. Rich Cellini, Ron Wolfley, Jody Jackson. And Denver struggled at the start of the second half with their offense. The last drive, I know they got a pass interference call, but Simeon and company made some plays. Treats ball batted down at the line of scrimmage, and we go downstairs to Jody.
All right, alongside Jared Valdir, left tackle for the Cardinals. And let me ask you, Jared, after last week against Oakland, it was a little bit of a wake-up call. Steve Keim was talking about that. Just what were your thoughts on it? Bruce Arians also said a lot was fixable as far as the pass protection. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, absolutely. Saw something, new that, we haven't really come across yet, as far as a defense and what they were doing. And, we were able to practice versus that and heads up.
Gotta keep our head up here in case they come over to the sideline.
Watch it and correct it on tape and make the adjustments so then, we can hit the ground running the next time we face that kind of defense or those kind of rushers and, all that kind of stuff. So, it's a learning opportunity and an opportunity to get better and, be able to fix it when the season hits.
Had some changes on the line, obviously, since the beginning of camp. Just how have, Ted Larson's been in there before, Earl Watford on there now. Those guys, how have they acclimated to the line?
They step up and, they're ready for that role. That's the thing about the guys that we have. Everyone's hungry to get in there and, they give it their all when they get their spot.
I know you've known Carson for a long time. He's back after the injury, and he's looked very sharp. Just what are your thoughts on how he's going to perform this season?
He's going to do a great job. He's doing awesome. We just have to make sure that, we do everything in our power to make sure he's got enough time back there and not getting touched. We do that, good things will happen.
Some guys messing around with you on the sideline. Okay, so the Saints are coming up 9 days away. I know you guys will get a little bit of rest before you go full bore into game prep. And just how excited are you to get it going?
Very excited. Can't wait to start the regular season. Pretty much after this game, it's on to the Saints and, on to some real games.
Jared, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, Jared Valdir joining us here. And, guys, it's about focusing on that Saints game, but some big decisions, of course, after this one.
Yeah, you aren't kidding, Jody. For a lot of people involved. Get some. Coach told us earlier today we'll get some roster reductions done tomorrow, and then got to have them finalized by Saturday. And they won't be easy decisions, and they won't be easy discussions, but part of the business.
One of the worst days for a coach, for front office personnel, general managers. There's a lot of guys down here. They got a lot of dreams. And those dreams are going to come to an end, at least for this season. It's a hard, hard day. Boy, it's good to see big Jared Valdir out there, too. That guy totally changed the complexion of the Arizona Cardinals offense last year. No longer did Bruce Arians have to call a play through the prism of whether or not his left tackle would actually hold up in protection.
And some key pieces to that line is Thomas going to keep this one, go around the edge and get a nice gain. Potty's out right now, but nice signee. So when you look at Arizona and they get all those pieces back, Ron, it's going to have some pieces to work with.
No doubt. Take a look right here. Logan Thomas on the zone read. See his eyes? Looking at the end man on the line of scrimmage right there, realizing that Gerald Rivers was going down flat, not coming up the field. So that's fine. You can't be right. I'll pull it out, and I'll go ahead and get the corner.
Thomas going to wind one up, and look who he's got. Inside the 5 and across the end zone line for a touchdown. It's J.J. Nelson getting loose once again this preseason.
That's what he brings to the table. It was a great read, a great job by Logan Thomas after the play action. Watch him get his eyes and read, find that safety. No, I got no safety. I'm going to throw it over the top. That is a great read, a great throw, and look at JJ, get it in. Boy, you know Logan Thomas, look at him, looking at the sideline, you see that?
I didn't know if Nelson was going to be able to keep his knee off the turf before he got to the final stripe, but he did.
Boy, he looked at that sideline and he was saying, yeah, did you see that, B.A.? That is good stuff right there.
Missed another one. Second miss tonight of a PAT. Zero, who was so good last year, misses 2 PATs in preseason game number 4.
I want to check the PSI of that football.
Oh, don't go there. Don't do it. We'll talk more. 13:08 to go in this back and forth affair. Arizona now in front 22-20. Take a look at the Cardinals red zone efficiency presented by CDW.
Well, you'll take that any day. 2 touchdowns, 3 opportunities, 66.6%. Doing math again on the air. Dangerous proposition.
But look at you.
Thank you, Rich.
Flawless.
Boy, I'll tell you, what an electrifying play. Logan Thomas to J.J. Nelson. Where there's smoke, maybe there is fire.
Through the back of the end zone. One more time with the touchdown.
Take a look at this right here. Oh, little play action, right? Little 7-man protection, and you got the post behind it. That is a great read. Getting his eyes down the field by Logan Thomas. And then look at JJ get it in.
Nice stretch.
Man, I'll tell you, that guy is a stick with eyeballs. There's no doubt about it. And he might get sand kicked in his face on the beach. But here on the gridiron, he's nails.
Ball continuing to get the workload.
That is BA's offense, by the way, in a nutshell, what we just saw. Be able to run the ball. It's the reason why the Arizona Cardinals have got to be able to run the ball, because play action is such a big part of what BA does. And part of play action, so much of it is taking shots down the field like what we just saw.
Second down and 10. Complete. Spin. Gain of 9. Fowler with the catch.
Boy, that is so good to see. I hate to belabor the point, but J.J. Nelson, it is good to see himself go out there, be put in a situation where he is wide open, and he catches the ball and on contact gets it into the end zone. Man, J.J. Nelson's going to go home tonight, Rich. He's going to lay his head down on that pillow, and he's going to say, I can do this, man. I can do this.
Simeon buried back at the 20. Avalanche and Cardinals right back on top of him. Martin, the first man in.
Look at this, a little edge pressure. Kareem Martin. That is a nice job right there, getting around the corner, getting the edge on a tight end, trying to block him. Can't have tight ends block a guy like Kareem Martin. Better beat him.
Loss of 10, second down and 20. Simeon throwing a nice ball in the second half. Another completion to Jones.
Not bad right there, Jones. Guy is a tree trunk. Look at him. My goodness, he is put together right there. Made a couple of nice plays. Trying to make a football team. That's what it's all about, man. Especially right now. Preseason game number 4, the fourth quarter, the witching hour. Bad things typically happen. Well, you know what? Good things can happen too.
Denver called a timeout. Timeout, Broncos. 10:27 to go here in Denver. .27 to go in the fourth. Cardinals ownership box looking on. Steve Keim at the top of the picture in the left. Imagine the one with the most running through his head right now.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Steve Keim.
A lot of decisions to make.
Terry McDonough, Vice President, Player Personnel. Big Ron Miniger.
Beautiful pass, sliding catch on the sideline for Jordan Taylor, who just came into the game.
Now, how about that? That's a beautiful throw by Simeon, putting it out there on the out route. It's a nice catch as well, getting that knee down, making sure there's no dispute as to whether or not he was in. That's a good play by Taylor.
First down. Simeon still with time. Try down the left sideline, incomplete, out of bounds. Fowler, the intended target. Saints come to town on the 13th. 3 of the first 4 at home. To Chicago, then the 49ers and Rams, and then the big trip, Detroit and Pittsburgh, where the team's going to hang out for a week at the Greenbrier Resort in West Virginia.
Man, then you got a very, very complicated middle of the season with a bye week.
Yes.
You also play Seattle, the AFC North.
Another completion. This one to Jones. Back half of the schedule, and there you go.
Yeah, bye week right in the middle of the season. Love that. That's where you want a bye week, right in the middle. You see at Seattle, playing the Bengals again, finishing with 3 games at home out of the last 4.
Yeah, Green Bay and then the Seahawks on January 3rd. That could be epic.
The fur's gonna fly in that game.
Simeon's picked off, and then dropped, and then picked up again. Well, a little bit of everything on that one. Clemens had it, then dropped it. And now the official's going to confirm. They'll still say Arizona ball on the interception.
Oh, that is just a great play by Chris Clemens right there, reading the eyes of the quarterback. Looked like he was playing robber coverage. That's where you play man across the board, you rush 4, and you have a lurker down in the middle of the field, and he's supposed to do exactly what Clemens did. Read the eyes of the cue and jump anything that is a crossing route in the middle of the field. Well played by Chris Clemens right there. Make a play, young guy.
That sends people headed to the exits here at Sports Authority Field. Clemens, 7th season out of Clemson.
Is under review.
And we'll take another look.
I wonder if they're going to say, Chris Clemens, you've got to possess it all the way through the catch to the ground. It looked like to me he did just that, right?
I thought he dropped it when he was coming up. But I have been wrong before, including earlier tonight.
Couple of times.
Take a timeout. Welcome back to our Ford broadcast booth, brought to you by your Arizona Ford dealers. Previous play under review. Was it or was it not an interception?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. First down, Arizona.
So on reviews tonight,
there you go.
1 for 2.
BA was talking to the zebra. He told him. Are you kidding me, man? That was a clean catch. He was a runner at this point. Look at that. What a great job reading the eyes of the cue, getting up, absolutely, no doubt about it. Possessed it all the way through the catch, through the ground.
Thomas and the offense start this drive in Bronco territory. Robert Hughes gets his number called tonight.
Boy, that's a big backfield in there now. Thick backfield. Big Paul Lasike and Robert Hughes.
We're going heavy.
Going at. That's what they do. They call that a personnel group too. I'd call that personnel group dogs. Dogs. Got some big dogs in there.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Keep it on the ground. Grind forward for 3.
On the counter OF right there. Again, the Arizona Cardinals operating without a tight end. Got Ifani Moma, of course. He dressed tonight. Kind of a tweener. He wasn't going to play very long. Gerald Christian got hurt earlier in this game. Left.
Coach told Jody, don't know the extent of it, but didn't look good.
Didn't look good.
3rd and 8. Fans can make some noise here in Denver. Thomas, pass complete. Really no place for Hughes to go once he caught it.
And that's a situation right there, BA and the coaching staff. They're going to be talking to Logan Thomas about that type of situation. Look, at some point in time, you got to go ahead and throw it where you're going to pick up a first down. Try to push it down the field, especially against a 4-man rush. Don't do anything crazy with it. Sometimes just dumping it off in the flat won't be good enough.
Laux gets out of the way of it, and Butler's punt kicks into the end zone.
Once again, BA was talking about the fact that there's going to be 8 roster spots open. Talking about on the 53-man roster. This is a deep, deep roster. The Arizona Cardinals are going to cut 3, 4, maybe even 5 guys that I think will be picked up by other teams. Well, that really is a great reflection in what Steve Keim and Terry McDonough have been able to do to put together a roster that's that deep.
On first down, ball has no room to run. And they find him from all over. Doesn't have to be from a big name school, doesn't have to have a great pedigree coming in, some do. But we start looking at that fight, we'll start at the inside.
You look at it right there, right? Sean Weatherspoon, Kevin Minter, they're here. Kenny Demmons, I think, is here. Man, they love Alani Fua. Gabe Martin as well. It's not even counting Deone Buchanan.
Yeah, good point. Incomplete. Deone listed as a safety, but going to play down a little bit. Taylor, the intended target.
I think Deone Buchanan is going to play in the box exclusively.
Okay.
I think there's a real possibility that they're going to use him, or try to use him at least, Rich, just the way Darrell Washington has been used in the past. Take a look at Deone right there. Oh, Buck. Man, he will light you up. Sometimes he'll light you up even if you're wearing the same color scheme. He doesn't care. Deone going to put the bucket on you.
3rd down and 12. Simeon looking for Louts on the sideline. Incomplete. Green stride for stride with 6 in orange.
You can see it right here, right? This is a good job getting your head around. Hand checking, that's fine. Get all fired up. Jonte Green. Making sure the coaches saw that. Did you see that up in the booth? Young corners typically have a hard time learning to get that head around.
Quick to punt. And he gets picked up and tossed to the ground.
This is beautiful right here, right? Harmon's back there trying to make a play. He's got Capri Bibbs. He thought he was going to tackle his legs, and so he jumped. Bibbs said, "What are you doing?"
What do you think Uncle Bruce has to say about that?
I have no idea, but look at everyone's all on the sideline. That was awesome, man. Remember that time you're returning the punt, you ran down here, and then you jumped because you thought the guy was going to tackle your legs. He pancaked you on the Denver sideline. That was awesome.
Thomas in trouble, and down he goes. Fua in for the sack.
Well, not much you can do right there, right? Got play action, trying to get your head around, and suddenly you got pressure right in your face. There is nothing that will destroy a play action pass like interior pressure coming right up the middle. That's exactly what Fua did. You get that head around, and suddenly you see a wall of orange.
Second and 22. Thomas bobbles it and gets it out there, and Denver laying some lumber right now.
No, this is the time to do it, Rich.
You're starting to see that. People letting their hair down.
Yeah, a lot of guys. There is no tomorrow. Wide receiver screen, get it out there. Jackson Shipley. I don't know how many catches he's got tonight, but he's got to be nearing double digits. Been all over the field. And there's a real possibility you're going to have to let that kid walk. That's tough. But that's how deep the wide receiver room is.
3rd and 19, and Thomas will go down again. Barrett got another one.
That's going to be a tough situation right there to give him a minus on that play. I don't know if you can actually do that with that pressure getting to him that quickly. I think Logan Thomas has played very, very well here tonight. We got 3rd and 19. I guarantee on the last possession, BA was telling him, look, you can't throw a 3-yard dump when you got 3rd and 8. That's why he was looking down the field.
Punt off for Butler, and Louts makes the catch at the 21. Start looking at all the different position groups and all the battles. Talked about the starting 5 at the top of the show. Nothing more important for Arizona this year than keeping Carson Palmer healthy.
Absolutely. Protection is so important, so critical to the success of the Cardinals in 2015. think you could say that to some degree about every team, but especially Carson Palmer.
And then you talked about coach's offense and the play action. You have to be able to run it. So
Sure.
those big five up front.
Offensive line has got to gel. You got to protect Carson. You keep him clean, let him get to his mark and set up, go through his progression. He's as good as you want.
Bibbs with the carry. And the Bibbs and Ball show here on the ground for Denver tonight.
Yeah, big Matt Shaughnessy. There's another guy. Boy, the defensive line. Honestly, defensive line probably the deepest position on the team. I mean, you look at this. Talking about Frosty Rucker, Corey Redding, those are pros. Calais Campbell, a Pro Bowler. Well, I like that kid right there, too. Harold Jones-Corte. Here's what I know about Jones-Corte. He will absolutely set your skin on fire. This kid loves to hit. You see him get the face mask right in between the shoulder blades. There's nothing wrong with that. He's a physical player coming down from that secondary.
A catch by Taylor, third down and short. And on the other side to Taylor, bobbled and dropped, incomplete.
Love seeing these young DBs make some plays. Might be the difference maker, C.J. Roberts. Out route right there, didn't give up on the route, shot the hands up into the pig, and knocked it out. That's a play. That's making a play right there by a young guy trying to make a football team.
Fourth down and 3, and the offense stays out for Denver. Timeout, Arizona. Talked about Witherspoon in the open. Chris Johnson, those two low risk, potentially very high reward signees, and Spoon got himself some action tonight.
Yeah, Sean Witherspoon hold up at the point of attack. He's big, strong. He's a guy that can cover backs coming out of the backfield, run with some tight ends. Look at that, stick his face right in there. Man, do you love to see that. It's been 2 years since he's played with the Silks on. Think about that for a minute. 2 years. Blew his Achilles out last year. Didn't play in a regular season game. My goodness. Came out here tonight with a purpose and played like it.
Former first rounder of the Falcons. Now here comes a flag. Incomplete off the hands of Taylor, looking around for some help and gets it with the yellow flag. Green not happy.
Well, you see Green out here. He's working on the out route. Man, anytime you have that hand on the back, the side judge, field judge, they're likely to throw that flag.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 42. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, we missed it, obviously. The hold prior to the pass right there. Nice job by Cleat making that clear. BA doesn't care. He doesn't care whatever it is. Call it holding, argue that. Call it DPI, argue that. Illegal chuck, argue that. In rare form.
Incomplete. Another reception by Fowler, who's put together a nice night.
The other thing about Sean Witherspoon you love is the fact he can play either inside linebacker position. Play that Mike backer where he's got no cover in front of him, big enough to hold up at the point of attack, or he can play the weak inside linebacker position where you let him run, make plays.
Here comes pressure. Simeon's pass tipped and incomplete. Green got a chance at an interception.
That ball get tipped at the line. Boy, Jonte Green was going to jump that post. Look at this. Oh, baby. That might have been going the other way.
Third and 3. Simeon, a little bit of time, another one batted down at the line.
How about
Lemon's
that?
got that one.
James Bedger says, you know what? I realize there's only 2:16 left in the fourth quarter of the fourth preseason game. Well, what do you say we go ahead and go cover 0? Let's just line up. We'll send everybody after the cue. Play man across the board. Let the chips fall where they may. That's being aggressive. That's what BA wants to see out of his coordinator. Be aggressive.
Fourth down and 3. Pressure, got it away. Pass is caught. First down, Denver. Burst will let you know it.
He came right back with it. The exact same thing. Cover 0 once again. Look at this. Jones Quartet. Nice job by Simeon hanging in there, completing that pass against Huns over the wall.
That gets us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Arizona leading 22-20. Time for the SRP Power Performance presented by SRP. Delivering more than power. Thomas hooking up with Nelson on the deep ball. And Simeon trying to do the same here with what is seemingly his favorite target in Jordan Taylor. And one more time, you can't cut this play short.
This is beautiful right here. You kidding me? Look at a little play action. You got J.J. Nelson on the post. I promise you, Curtis Marsh, the DB, probably hasn't seen anybody that skinny run that fast. That is a great read by Logan Thomas, getting his eyes down the field, recognizing where that safety wasn't, and throwing the ball and throwing it in stride.
Complete over the middle, slipping the tackle, and then ducking down is Fowler again. When you get down to where we are, 141 and counting, you think that everybody out there doesn't want to win the game.
Yes. I don't know about that, but how in the world are you going to hit the ground right there? Going down, I don't know. You're a big guy too, Fowler. It's a big guy out there.
Go get some more.
Dip it and rip it.
Plenty of time. Bibbs left side, just a couple. Clock continues to move.
Well, I'll tell you, you can see the effort right here. Look at some of the big men. Look at Alameda Tamu come running down the line. Boy, that's a runaway dumpster right there, coming down the line.
Green with the tackle.
That's the kind of effort the coaches want to see from Alameda Tamu. He's got to be more consistent with that effort.
Arizona calls a timeout, down to 1, 2 remaining for Denver.
Look at him right there. I guarantee you the people at Johns Hopkins, they follow Alameda around, waiting for stuff to fall off him. That is a big man right there. You look at it once again. Look at that battle. I mean, seriously. Those are 9 guys. I don't know how you cut any of those names in that room. 9 defensive linemen.
2nd and 6. No throw, incomplete. Simeon misfired on that one. He had burst.
Well, once again, James Betcher dialing it up right here. I would imagine it's going to get a little hairier for Simeon right here. Sometimes you want to show it. You want that quarterback thinking about it.
You know, if they don't get any further, it'd be 50 or 51-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah, other times you want to hide it. This is not one of those times.
And Denver's going to call a timeout and see what they want to do on 3rd down and 6 with under a minute to go. Broncos open at home on the 13th against Baltimore. There's a little history between those two teams.
Yeah, just a little bit, I would imagine. And James Betcher gathering all those young guys around him, running out there on the field. Brenston Buckner, defensive line coach, trying to encourage his guys. Go get the cue. There we go. They're showing it.
3rd down and 6. Empty backfield. Simeon blitz, throws incomplete. Never had a chance. Morrow just blew that one up.
Absolutely. Coming after Simeon right here. You can see Morrow. Kareem Martin. Somebody blew a squeeze call. I'll promise you, you never let the inside guy run free. You're the end man of the line, you're going to hear squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
51-yard attempt to give Denver the lead. McManus kick is away. No good. He pushed it.
Look at Jonte Green down there. Hey, soak it up, Jonte. Why not?
You break it down, it's a game. And anytime you're going to play Larry Fitzgerald, Carson Palmer.
Look at that.
Even if it's not for keeps, you still want to win.
You got to love that. Look at that. A couple of veterans watching that like it was 4th quarter of a playoff game. Give me the high five right there. Beat the Broncos in preseason game number 4.
Why not? Arizona, barring disaster, one more snap. Finish the preseason at 2-2, and Denver will drop their only preseason game of the first part of the slate and finish at 3-1.
Victory formation.
And you want to practice everything.
Yes, you do, especially that one.
And Arizona is going to get out of the Mile High City. Bidwell going to smile and enjoy this one, but some tough decisions coming up from personnel men and Coach Arians, Gary Kubiak. Why is it that everybody who goes to talk to Bruce Arians leaves with a smile?
Absolutely. Michael Bidwell, you can see him down there all jacked up, fired up, right? What a great job he's done. You go ahead and hire the NFL Executive of the Year in Steve Keim, hire the Coach of the Year in the National Football League. You're doing something right, aren't you?
Fans are coming out in force. 9 days till New Orleans comes to town. Back with some final thoughts after this.